Hey, welcome back to the shopping project. We got behind us a 66 Volvo Amazon. I'm partway through doing the brakes now. Tonight is Wednesday the 6th, I think, 6th or 7th of March. Anyway, the goal for tonight is to get the water pump back on the car, or the replacement water pump, I should say, here, installed on the car. And I would really like to get the new brake lines on the car, the flex hoses, and get the calipers mounted. Frankly, I'm not going to video much of that because it's going to take me longer to set the camera up than it is to do this stuff. And when making videos becomes more of a hassle than working on the car, that's when I lose enjoyment and lose steam and stop doing it. So we're just going to press on and get the water pump on there. I'll flip it around and show you what it looks like. So as you can see here, very simple. I just sort of buzzed that clean. There's 4 bolts there, and then the inlet and outlet are, there we go. The inlet and outlet are up there. Maybe not as clean as I'd like, but I think it'll be all right. There is also right here. This I stole off of my spare motor there because the one from my original motor was pretty rusty. This is the inlet or outlet, I don't know, but it goes into the water pump right there. And then this here actually connects to the lower radiator hose. So I guess that would be the inlet for the water pump, because that'll be the cold side. There's also a heater pipe which runs back along the block here, all around the back, and pokes its head up right in this general area. It did connect to this hose that I had to cut off. And here it is painted just because I had to take it completely off. Looks like it's dry. This is not in great shape. You can see what used to be a bead roll is just rusted off there. This is all weirdly bulged. The whole thing is just corroded and stuff, but it might work for now. My buddy Andrew has a spare one in much better shape that he said he'd ship me, but I think I'm going to go ahead and throw this on and see if it leaks. I am, much to the chagrin of some viewers, I'm sure, going to be using some RTV, just a little bit to coat the gasket and the O-rings, just because all this stuff is 60 years old, and as you saw in the heater pipe, it's not going to fit very well. So we're going to give it every chance of sealing that we can. So anyway, no time lapse, but I'll come back to the installed water pump here. All right, so I got 3 bolts in there. The 4th is going to go on once I put the heater pipe in there. I do kind of wish I'd filmed this though, because what I did, I captured this bolt first, put that bolt in, didn't tighten it, just snugged it a little bit and left the other 2 out. Then, because it has 2 sealing rings up at the top here, I put an extension into the heater pipe hole and then pulled up on that to kind of rotate the water pump into place and to squish the 2 seals there at the bottom of the head. It's similar to the, well, I say red block, technically this is a red block, but that's similar to the B230 pump, except the B230 pump has a couple of slotted holes on there, so you can drop the pump down, start the bolts, and then use like a floor jack or a piece of wood or something to like push up on it to seal the single seal up at the top here. So similar design, not identical, but yeah, anyway, that's how I did that. And there is RTV on there, it's just not splooged out everywhere because I didn't really use that much. I knocked the damn heater pipe seal off. There it is. There. Oh, come on. Now it's covered in dirt, so I'll have to clean that off, put a little RTV on it, then put the heater pipe on, and then we'll put the big pipe down. Alrighty, well, we got the whole water pump installed now. Got our heater pipe there, we got our little radiator hose there. Pardon the paint drip, it was on it already. And the heater pipe runs all the way back here and comes up bloop, right there. In order to get all that in there, I scratched up my new paint job, bummer. I had to take the carb linkage out a little bit. I tried to pop these balls loose, but they're on there really good, even though they don't have the clips in there, which is sort of weird. But I did find that. It actually doesn't look too bad from that angle. There we go. Yeah, that's a long time of this thing running with no bushing in there and just wearing out. Now I did order new bushings for these, so maybe that'll hold it a little better. I don't know. I mean, long term, this thing's getting a pair of Webers anyway, just for the vibe. So if that works okay for now, then we'll live somehow. I did also order new throttle return springs, some other stuff for here. I need to get some actual like fuel line clamps instead of these garden hose clamps. I don't even know. I didn't do that. Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of planning on painting the motor in situ. I'm not gonna do that. At some point, I'll just pull the motor out and clean it up, clean the engine bay, paint the motor all at the same time, because it looks like it would take approximately 38 seconds to pull this motor. So, you know, down the road, I'm gonna get it driving and everything first though, but that's pretty much it for the engine bay tonight. We're doing okay on time, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and move over to the brake hoses. I lied. While I'm up here, while I'm in cooling system mode, I'm going to pop the thermostat or housing off, clean it up, get a new thermostat in there, and probably delete all this crap and find a plug for that. So yeah, here we go. Sure, I'm glad I took this apart before I ran it too much, because that, whatever, that is, that might cause some flow restriction there. So we'll get this cleaned up. So, ew, it's like snot. Once again, parts motor to the rescue. I think I'm going to use this one. The outlet is, or the inlet, I guess, is a bit larger. That hose will stretch over it. I'll have to spit on it a bit, but it'll do it. This, I don't know, maybe that's from B16 or something, and there's no bead roll on it at all. I don't know if it rotted away or what, but yeah, that's going in like the spares bin after I clean that out, and we're just going to use that one. So we got our replacement thermostat housing cleaned up a little bit. It's definitely got some pitting on there, but we're going to spin that around to the back. And we got our new 82-degree thermostat that'll go in. So let's go ahead and throw this in there. Now that's better. We got some access down over there. I mean, not that the brake booster was really in the way, but you know, clean it up quite a bit. So yeah, at some point I want to either clean up this motor, paint it, or just put the rebuilt one in. The rebuilt one's a little bit of a question mark, because it sat in a barn uncovered for, gosh, who knows how many years. It's got no oil paint on it, but you know, it looks good enough, and it looks like it has a cinder lube in it. But yeah, so I might leave the patina on this valve cover. I may paint it, I may not. I may make just the engine look really nice and then just sort of leave the rest of the engine bay. I think patina is sort of the name of the game on this car. But yeah, anyway, so I think we're done under the hood for the night. So let's go down and put the brake lines on. So we got a 5/8 here, and then I've also got a 16mm flare nut wrench. 5/8 feels loose. 5/8 is loose. It's gotta be a 15. Get that out of the way. Oh no, I'm on the wrong. Okay, yeah, 5/8 for that. Okay, so 12 here. Be nice to me. Oh, there it went. And actually it loosened up okay. The tube nut seems to be rusted to the line. Not that bad. We'll put a little penetrating oil up under there. Hopefully help free that up. Once that starts to move, it'll be fine. Let's hold that. That's back there. Actually, I don't need to do that right now because it's loose. Where'd my 12 go? There it is. Oh, that is twisting badly. Well, in not so great news, I don't trust that. Yeah, I don't trust that to hold brake pressure. All right, well, I guess that means we're making brake lines. Oh well, could be worse. This one's a bit of a question mark. I know it looks rusty. That line actually looks a lot better than what was out here at the wheel. That would be a bit more of a complex line to redo, so I'm really hoping that frees up. Well, that did not go well. I barely put any torque on that. I mean, barely turned it, and that end snapped clean off. So, okay. That means that replacing the master cylinder just got bumped up in priority. So, you know, if that one line is any indication of the rest, I'm gonna have issues with those too. So screw it. Let's just swap the master and be done. So that's where we're leaving it tonight. I mean, I'm a little bummed, but honestly, those lines are 60 years old. They were pretty rusty just looking at them. It is not the worst thing in the world that they failed here in the shop rather than out on the very first drive. So it is brake line time, I guess. I have quite a bit of NICOP and steel. The steel is actually easier to work with than you'd think. The NICOP bends super easy. I don't think I have enough of either one to do the entire car. The steel stuff I can get locally for pretty cheap. The NICOP is very expensive locally, but fairly cheap online. So I don't know, maybe I'll order some more NICOP. I really should be in bed, but I'm pretty stoked by this. So this is the push rod slash clevis. The brake pedal attaches down here, obviously. And this is what sits in the back of the old master cylinder, right in there. And it's held in with this clip. And this is what prevents the pedal from coming all the way back. And it's what keeps this from falling out the back of the master. Now, the Mazda master cylinder is designed to go on a brake booster, which has the push rod retained in the booster. However, this clip is almost perfectly sized to drop down in there underneath this snap ring, and then it just sits there. And I can use the original push rod, clevis, and everything once I take just like a couple thou off of the OD of this so that it slips down in the bore. Pretty sick.